na 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 na. Make them say na 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 na. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? Looking really good. Won't you back that ass up? I ain't listened to back that ass up in a while. Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 show, and for the first time ever, doing 2 live streams in one freaking week. The first live stream today is my reaction to the Verzuz rap battle between No Limit Soldiers and the Cash Money Millionaires, which I didn't know about till like Saturday, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute, they announced this, and then out of nowhere, it's that same day at 5 o'clock. Well, it didn't start at 5 o'clock, but it did start, and we saw the No Limit Soldiers and the Cash Money Millionaires going at it for the first time ever in history. And I'll be honest with you. First I was thinking about skipping it, but I'm like, you know what? I myself, because I used to be a rap fan when I was a teenager, and I'm like, I owe myself and the rest of the rap fandom to freaking actually see this battle play out. Now, I know when Cash Money first came out and No Limit was starting to wind down. Ah, crap. Let me get this straightened up and then I'll finish the story outside. When No Limit was, winding down and Cash Money was starting to become a big entity. I can get this right. Hold on. You know what? I shouldn't have messed with this thing at all. Son of a bitch. Hell. Hold on. This thing's falling apart. Come on. Stupid son of a bitch. If anybody's joined so far, apologize for this. No one's joined yet. Hold on a sec, let me get this stupid thing fixed. Here's my other one. Alright, anyway. Best I can do. Alright, so when No Limit was starting to wind down and Cash Money was starting to become a big entity in the rap game, it got to the point where people flipped from No Limit to Cash Money, and then there was a point where people was like, oh, there's a beef between Cash Money and No Limit. I'm thinking like, what? And at that point, at that time, there was no instance of hearing about a beef of Cash Money and No Limit, but people were just so excited about Cash Money and didn't like No Limit no more. So they're like, oh, we got to make up a beef in our head, because there was no beef. Even at this rap battle on the Verzuz show, there was no beef between them. The only beef that happened, I'll talk about at the end, after everybody finished, was, what Birdman said about a former Cash Money employee. That's the only beef I've seen on the show. But anyway, like I said, I was a rap fan, and, I used to be a rap fan. Like I said, I was a teenager. When I got into adulthood, I wasn't. But, I was like, I owe it to myself and the rest of the rap community to actually watch this thing. So I watched it. I waited through the stupid long-ass pre-show because, Jesus, was that pre-show so stupid. Although it sounds like the guys hosting it were pretty much saying it was Cash Money's to win. And I'm like, how's it Cash Money's to win? I mean, I'm a No Limit fan. I'm a No Limit fan. I liked Cash Money, some of their stuff. But there were some things about Cash Money I didn't like. And I'll talk about that as we go on throughout this. But anyway, so we finally got to it. They were all on stage. We got ready. And I gotta say, both freaking both groups really were doing really good. Now, No Limit started out kind of flat because, you know, Master P was sounding kind of flat, but Cash Money started hot with hitting us up with the Juvenile joint. And then after that, No Limit came out. They started singing because Manny Fresh and Cash Money were on the stage first. Manny Fresh was like, let's get this shit started. Let's go. And they started playing a beat and all that. And then you hear Juvenile just starting to spit fire. And I'll tell you what. Out of all the Cash Money label members, I think Juvenile was the best out of all of them. The rest of them I really didn't care for too much. But I thought Juvenile was just awesome. I thought he spit. And he came out spitting fire right off the bat. No sooner as Manny first started that song, he just came out just blasting like. He was just flowing like crazy. I'm like, man, yeah, that's the Juvenile I remember when I listened to him as a teenager. Motherfucker still sounds like a bad motherfucker. I don't care how old he got. He was still sounding like a bad mofo. Then No Limit came out. Like I said, the rest of the No Limit group sounded good, but Master P sounded kind of flat at first. But that was only after during the first couple songs. After the first couple songs, Master P really got back on fire. Started spitting fire like Master P of old. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like the Master P that came out with songs like, you know, Bout It, and, you know, and shoot, Ice Cream Man and all that stuff, man. I was like, yeah, spitting it. Let's go. But I'll tell you what, I gotta say the two MVPs of the show, in my opinion, Mia X, man, boy, Mia X. She was on fire that whole show. From the time she came out all the way till the time the show ended. And then I got to give a shout out to Juvenile. He was pretty good too. They were the two MVPs of the show. But, you know, after that, if I had to pick another MVP after one of them, or if I couldn't pick one of them, I'd go with BG. And I wasn't really a big BG fan at first. But you know what? BG sounded really good Saturday at the show. And then I'd probably go with Fiend after Mia X for No Limit. So on Cash Money, it'd be BG. Fiend, it would be after Mia X. But man, I'll tell you what, they were just on fire. Especially Mia X. She just, you know, was dominating. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people in the chat while I was watching it. Oh, hello. But Mia X, she was freaking dominating. She was just out there. Sounded like the Mia X of old. I'm like, man, yeah, let's go, Mia X. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was like, yes, let's go, Mia X. Bad bitch still to this day. So yeah, they broke out the hits. Cash Money got Project Chick, which was a good song. We got to hear Bling Bling, but you know, something about it that just didn't feel right with freaking Bling Bling is the fact that Lil Wayne wasn't there. Lil Wayne not being a part of Bling Bling song really kind of threw the rhythm off. Now, BG and Juvenile did pretty good with them two just singing it, but you know, it just didn't sound right without freaking having freaking Lil Wayne. And I'm not a big Lil Wayne fan. I don't like Lil Wayne at all. But on Bling Bling, Lil Wayne was fire on that song when that song came out. And I would have been a Lil Wayne fan, but you know, I guess it's just something about his voice I just didn't like. I mean, Lil Wayne's voice to me just sounded terrible. And you know, I still don't like his voice to this day, but people say now he's the greatest rapper of all time. Coffee cups. Yeah. But, you know, Lil Wayne, yeah, speaking of coffee cup, freaking Manny Fresh had him a coffee cup. I wonder what he had in it. Or some liquid courage, I don't know. But, yeah, man, Bling Bling just don't sound right without Lil Wayne. And I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. I'm still not a Lil Wayne fan to this day. When I heard that song with him and Eminem years ago, when him and Eminem were singing, I think it's something to do with the world and, like, you know, Lil Wayne going off. I'm like, God, he sounds terrible going off. You know, he doesn't sound like a DMX or a Tupac or a freaking Master P or somebody when they freaking go off. I mean, even Eminem, when he goes off, he sounds good. But, boy, Freaking Lil Wayne, I don't know. He wasn't good at going off. He's better at doing more of a calmer, calmer tone song where his voice is like calm tone. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Lil Wayne. I don't like his voice, but other than that, he does do good. He does do good when he does a song where he's just flowing using his natural voice and not trying to go off and freaking be a DMX or something like that. Because, man, I don't know. But yeah, Bling Bling to me just didn't sound right without Lil Wayne singing it with him. Now, the same could go for It Ain't My Fault. And I'll say this, Silk the Shocker, I gotta say, he's one of my least favorite singers on the No Limit label. He was terrible. He only had one good song that was Ain't My Fault. But, him singing It Ain't My Fault because they broke out It Ain't My Fault as well. Just, and you know what? Silk didn't sound bad in that song. He sounded actually better than he did when he was younger singing that song. But it just didn't seem right without Mystical singing Ain't My Fault with him. But I know Mystical wasn't there because I think he went to jail again over the same thing he went to jail for years ago, or prison. And, if you know the story of what Mystical did or didn't do. I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently so, but he's in prison again, I think. That's what I heard. But, yeah, man, it just didn't sound right without Mystical in there freaking flowing with Silk the Shocker. Because, back in the heyday of No Limit, when Mystical sung with freaking Silk, Silk sounded way better than what he did when he tried to do something on his own or try to do anything with any of the other No Limit guys. I guess you could say Master P and freaking C Murder brung the best out of him in too, but yeah, man. So yeah, they hit us off with Ain't My Fault. We got Bling Bling, which didn't sound right without Lil Wayne. I already said Project Chick. Master P broke out Ice Cream Man, Make 'Em Say Bout It. And, they were just really good songs. And Mia X hit the, what was it called? Right after they did Project Chick, Mia X, I think, did Freako. I think that's the name of the song. I don't know. But Freako was after that. And I'll tell you what. It was just, amazing just seeing these two acts on stage together. I gotta say, though, out of who won, I feel like No Limit won. After those first couple songs, they really gelled and they just took off and skyrocketed. And you know what? Cash Money sounded pretty good, too, even though I wasn't a big fan of Cash Money when I was younger. They sounded really good, especially with BG and Juvenile carrying the weight there. Manny Fresh, he sounded okay. Birdman sounded okay. But, man, I'll tell you what. No Limit just, especially with that last song. When they got Snoop Dogg to come out with that last song, they were just on fire. I mean, shoot. Freaking on fire. No, freaking Snoop Dogg came out there all hyped up, singing everybody else's verses, singing the Mystical verse. All that, man. It was just like, I think it's Fuck Them Other Ends. I think that's the name of the song. Yeah. It's been a while. Like I said, it's been a while since I've listened to it. Well, most recently, all I've listened to lately with Master P from his old CDs is Ice Cream Man and The Last Dawn. But, yeah. I thought, yeah, No Limit. I don't know. I think if it hadn't have been for Snoop Dogg coming out at the end, I would have called this a tie because Cash Money and freaking No Limit were pretty much on the same par throughout most of that. But then when you got freaking Snoop Dogg just come out and just bust out his rhymes and all that, sounded like, only Snoop Dogg could sound. I was like, man, yeah, No Limit definitely won this because if it wouldn't have been for that, I would have called it a tie because I enjoyed both stables singing. I enjoyed Cash Money's songs and I enjoyed the No Limit songs. I like the No Limit songs a little bit better because I am a No Limit fan. But yeah, that's how close this battle with No Limit and Cash Money was on this show. It was great to hear Master P singing all of his great songs again. I think they even busted out with Ghetto D. No, they didn't break out with Ghetto D. But yeah, man, it was great just hearing those old songs I grew up watching as a teenager. I'm like, man, Love these songs. I mean, it was just awesome. You know, and I think they should do a part 2 to it. And hopefully Cash Money could get all the guys back that they had that were the top guys at that time, such as Lil Wayne, because I've seen a lot of people in the chat while I was watching. They're like, well, where's Lil Wayne? You know, it's cool. He's helped Silk with that freaking verse. And on Make 'Em Say I think Mystikal's verse was like the best verse on Make 'Em Say which I think was from Ghetto Doe. Yeah, it was from Ghetto Dope. Well, Ghetto D. But, yeah, man, I mean, I thought both groups were fire. I thought they just came out. Juvenile sounded great. Master P, after the first couple songs, sounded great. Me X just was, like, on fire. Freaking Fiend. One thing I will say, they also did a tribute to a lot of the No Limit guys that weren't there no more, and some of the Cash Money guys, which I'll talk about what Birdman said here in a minute before I finish this. Talk about who Birdman called out that was a former Cash Money employee here in a minute. Called him a punk-ass motherfucker, too. He didn't mix his words. When he was finished, he called this dude a punk-ass motherfucker. But, you know, they paid tribute to Soldier Slim, who passed away, Skullduggery, C Murder. BG said release C Murder, which, you know, I didn't realize C Murder was in prison. And, you know, apparently he had a case where he was found guilty originally, and then after he was found guilty, he became, you know, then later on they found out that wasn't true, that it was, you know, false, that he really didn't do what he was accused of doing, but he's still doing a 25 to life stint. I'm like, gee whiz, why is this dude still doing a stint when he freaking, when he served his time already? But apparently not, because they just freaking still kept him in jail. So, I don't know. But, now I've talked about, you know, all the guys that passed and all that from No Limit side, you know, they were asked about, you know, what about the other Cash Money guys, like, you know, like Turk. And boy, did Birdman just fucking, he dissed freaking Turkey. Called him a punk-ass motherfucker, told him he's, you know, and he was pretty much trying to get to the point of saying, hey, we still got younger guys that can still flow for us. I don't know what the issue is with Turk and Birdman, but Birdman went off. And Manny Fresh had to freaking stop Birdman because I think after he bashed Turk, I think he was getting ready to bash Lil Wayne. I mean, it sounded like he was getting ready to bash Lil Wayne after he bashed Turk. So Manny Fresh kind of pulled the mic away real quick and, you know, started saying some other stuff so Birdman couldn't diss Lil Wayne as well. But boy, the freaking Birdman just went off on Turk. I'm like, man, dude, I don't know what Turk did. I don't know what the beef is with them. But, freaking Birdman just bashed the hell out of Turk. He's like, call him a punk-ass bitch motherfucker or everything like that. I'm like, damn. And, you know, also I gotta say, too, I think it kind of questions, kind of takes into the leadership because Birdman's the guy that runs Cash Money, and he's calling out a former employee over some stupid beef. And then Master P, after the last song, when they brought Snoop Dogg out, kind of just didn't even say bye to the fans or nothing, just disappeared, didn't even get last words in. Manny Fresh got in his last words. He asked Master P if he had any last words, and instead Silk had to pick up the slack on, you know, saying the last words for No Limit because, you know, Master P just said, screw it. He dipped out after that. He's like, well, whatever. Didn't even say bye to the fans or nothing, or thanks, I appreciate y'all coming and listening to us and all that, or nothing. He was just gone. And Birdman going off on Turk. I mean, the two top leaders kind of did not look that good at the end of the show. But the secondary leaders like Silk and Manny Fresh, they look pretty good and look pretty professional. They did the last word thing. They gave respect to the other crew. And like I said, BG said free C Murder because, you know, C Murder's doing a 25 to life stint right now. So, which, like I said, he got accused of something, he got convicted for it, and then they come to find out that stuff was false. But he's still in jail for 25. I'm like, why is he still in prison? That's just ridiculous, man. But overall, I enjoyed it. I hope this show does this again. Apparently, this show's been around for a while. I think it just returned from hiatus because I think it went on hiatus to 2023, I guess because all the pandemic stuff or something like that. And it came back, but I had seen some old videos. They got 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs and Harmony on it at one time and all that. And I didn't watch those, but I did watch this No Limit one, and I'm like, man, I gotta watch this. Because of me being a former fan of rap and, you know, everybody in the rap community at that time, late 90s, early 2000s, wanted to see No Limit and Cash Money go at it. But then again, a lot of people were fiending for that beef that frickin' Biggie Smalls and Tupac had at that time, too, because this happened not too long after Tupac Biggie Smalls beef happened, but then when they both got killed, you know, people were trying to look for that next big feud. Now, there has been other feuds in rap that have happened over the years, but there was no beef between No Limit and Cash Money. They're pretty much the same company. Only difference is, you know, there's just a difference. It's like, you know, if there was any kind of competition between Cash Money and No Limit, it was probably friendly competition because both groups are from New Orleans and all that. And honestly, I wish I would have been there in Vegas to see this live because, man, I would have freaking geeked out for this. I would have been freaking out there jamming with the rest of the people. Freaking jamming to the both songs from both groups. I mean, that's how much I enjoyed it. But I had to watch it on YouTube. I looked it up on YouTube and I checked it out and I watched it and I enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty good. They should do a part 2 because, you know, you don't get a big battle like that. Hopefully they can get Lil Wayne to come back. I don't know if they'll get Turk back after what Birdman said about him, but maybe they can get Lil Wayne or something to come back for this one and that. But, yeah, overall I really enjoyed the show. Took me back to the days of when I used to listen to rap, that nostalgia, hearing No Limit, Cash Money, especially when Juvenile broke out, back that ass up. No Limit, Cash, bringing out Bout It, freaking make them say, Ice Cream Man, all them freaking songs, all the hits were just being played. And I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I hope they do it again, because if they do a part 2, and we can get more people from the Cash Money side, I think it's going to be a very good, compelling show. Now, this one was really good. And if I was to rate the show, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed both groups' music. Like I said, I almost called it a tie, but when Snoop Dogg came out on that last song, I'm like, man, the way he freaking flowed and just blasted all over it, man, I'm like, yeah. Freaking Snoop Dogg was on fire during that song, and No Limit was hot throughout, so I gotta say. Except for the first 2 songs, they weren't hot. Cash Money almost got the win because of No Limit starting out not too hot on those first couple of songs. But after the first couple, they just got evenly matched until Snoop Dogg came out on stage and just lit up the stage with his flow and everything. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the Verzuz rap battle between Cash Money and No Limit Soldiers. I enjoy everybody who joined the live stream. I figure, heck, what the hell, you know. I got one more video left for this year, and then I'll be back early next year. Taking a break for the holidays, and then I'll be back early next year for, you know, with all kinds of stuff. But really appreciate everybody joining the stream. And you guys let me know what you guys thought of the verses between No Limit and Cash Money. I enjoyed it because I was a fan of both those groups back then. I like No Limit a little bit more than Cash Money, but you know what? They were still really good rap groups back in the day, and they're still pretty good to this day. So anyway, like I said, you guys let me know. I'll catch you guys Friday for my big Halloween topic video. I'm going to talk about horror icon dream matches, like, you know, Michael and Freddy and Jason, Michael and Pinhead, Leprechaun and Chucky, Leatherface and the Tall Man, Poltergeist against Pumpkinhead. I don't know. Alright, you'll find what all I talk about. I'll talk about like some storyline topics from all these horror franchises such as Saw, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, all that stuff. And, you know, And I'll be taking a break for the holidays, and then I'll be back early January. 2026 predictions. Build to Royal Figure Rumble. Ending it off with the King of Rap video I'm going to be doing. It's going to be the first live stream I do of the year next year. And I'm going to let the fans decide. You guys can just choose. It doesn't matter which rapper it is. I don't care if I like them or not. If other people like them or not. If you think they're the King of Rap, and they get the most names pulled up on the comments, then they're the King of Rap. But anyway, that'll do it. I'll catch you guys Friday for my final video of the year. And then after that, I'll see you guys in early 2026. I will be doing a prediction for 2026 on my video Friday because it might happen while I'm on the break. And it's got something to do with MJF and possibly a new Pinnacle. But yeah, I'll talk about that Friday during the big horror topic video. See you guys later. Peace out.